Hey everybody out there in the YouTube community, comic community, and every other community there is out there, and welcome to another Dark Avengers comic book review. You guys know me, I'm Chris. This is Joe. Mike's behind the camera, but he'll be sitting in because today is a special day. Today is Easter Sunday, so this is a special Easter comic book review episode. And the comics I'm reviewing in this week's video is actually from 2 weeks ago, March 27th, 8th. 2012. Sorry, it was 28th because the week before that was the 21st. So this is a week late. I do have the other comic books. I am starting to read them. But before I forget what happened in these comics, I would like to do the review now, get this out of the way, finish it, get it over with. Mike, you come sit down. And once I get these comics out of the way, I'll be able to focus more on this week's comics, which has Avengers vs. X-Men #1, which I must say, it's off to a bang-up start. First off, you go into your comic book store 2 weeks ago, this comic was free. Ultimate Spider-Man, advertising for not only the TV series, but for the Avengers vs. Mighty Thor TV series. And it turns out they're going to be making, who didn't see this coming, a comic book based off of Ultimate Spider-Man, the TV series. The artwork looks pretty good. I might pick up the first issue, mainly just for nostalgic reasons. Like, first of all, I haven't picked up an Ultimate anything in so long. Even though this isn't the Ultimate line, it is still Ultimate, so I might actually check it out anyway. I didn't get a chance to watch the first 2 episodes, but I hear the series is really good. It's off to a good start.
Good, actually, I heard.
I'm probably going to end up waiting for it to come out on DVD because I rarely watch TV, guys, so yeah, so really good. You can get it for free at your comic book store 2 weeks ago. I'm sure if you go on MidtownComics.com, they still have probably stacks of it in their stock, so you can probably still grab this for free. Artwork's pretty nice, just like on the TV show. And now we get into the official comics. Only one from Dynamite this week, Voltron #4, continuing, going from the past to the present. In the present, the Voltron force is trying to get their lines back. In the past, they show that Zarkon was the original pilot of the Voltron. He, through other means, piloted the ship. Piloted the Voltron lion robot, and bad stuff happened in his life, turned him into the evil Zarkon. What's his name? Alec is still alive in spirit form, bound to Zarkon until all is said and done. And spoiler alert: there is a 6th pilot. We don't know anything about the 6th pilot, but there was one. For those of you who can't see, this is some artwork from the book. As you guys know, I always show artwork. Year 1 Voltron is actually out. It came out this week, so I'll be checking that out. And there's actually a preview of it here, but I'm not going to bother showing it here. I'm going to actually do the reading first. So Voltron is still going, and it's going pretty strong. I'd say if you're a Voltron fan, check it out. If not, you wouldn't be. That's why I'm kind of speeding through this. I'm going to be speeding through most of the books this week because I just want to get this done, and because I got to get into next week's books. And to be honest, quicker the better, right? Yeah. We're now in IDW. We have a couple from IDW. I've been really delving into IDW. Infestation 2, #2, G.I. Joe #2. The second strongest series in Infestation #2. Of course, the Turtles and G.I. Joe were the strongest. Next week is the 30 Days of Night one-shot, and then 2 weeks from then next week for us, is the conclusion to Infestation 2 #2. Two #2s. Really good. Artwork's really nice. Snake Eyes was really, the way they drew Snake Eyes was very nice. See if I can get the page with Snake Eyes. No, went too far. Gotta find them.
You have to agree with the artwork.
The artwork is pretty good.
Most of IDW stuff is amazing.
Yeah, IDW has been doing real good work.
With their work, absolutely.
Great detail.
Now we got Snake Eyes. And yeah, Mike's usually behind the camera, guys, but today it's Easter. It's a special review.
I'm not here to review, so...
Yeah, these guys aren't reviewing. Mike has his monthly review coming up real soon. This is the last week of March, so he'll be getting all of his Amazing Spider-Man books as soon as I do the CCC monthly review, and he'll have all his books ready.
Yep.
Next up, Magic the Gathering #3, continuing the story, but really not too much. Comes with another free card, and this card is the Feast of Blood. It's a sorcery card. It is official. You can use it if you play Magic cards. Thought that was nice. I think they're going to hit all the spectrums before they finish the series.
Yeah, it's possible.
Really good. Dak leaves the where he's at, and he's going after the woman who killed everybody in his town, and his wife or girlfriend or whatever she was. And long story short, it turns out that she knew he was coming for her, so she went to where he was and is attacking the girl that's with him's father's family house instead. And now he has to go back and save them to be continued. That's the long version. There's a lot of stuff that happens in between. Really great artwork, really great story.
Yeah, you have been actually telling me about the Magic Comic.
I've been enjoying it. For a series that's based off a card game, it's pretty darn sweet. Very nice artwork, as always. Very nice artwork. I really don't have that many complaints for artwork this week. There are a few books from Marvel I have complaints for artwork, but other than that, you'll see why. So this is really good, guys. If you're interested in Magic, check it out. Another book, if you're a Transformers fan, you'll be enjoying this. Robots in Disguise, #3. Bumblebee still in control. There is a lot going on. There's these explosions going on the planet, and at first nobody knows why it's happening. So the Autobots are blaming the Decepticons. An aviator bot gets killed, and there's a whole conflict. Starscream is trying to keep the peace, and people don't believe in him. Long story short, it turns out that they're natural causes, and Starscream and Wheeljack find a way to prevent it. And yeah, in the end, there's a huge conflict. The aviator bots leave, and yeah, and there's also trouble all around with the Autobots as well. So trust and tension is definitely breaking. Tension is growing, trust is breaking on Cybertron. Trying to find a good
It's
image
very
to show you guys.
weird how that sort of thing could happen in Transformers. Really.
Yeah, I'm really not too... I wish, you know, I'll be honest with you, More Than Meets the Eyes is doing great on its own. I wish Optimus would come back to Robots in Disguise.
Yes.
That might help. That actually might help out the series with some preview art.
Optimus Prime would get things, you know.
Yeah, I think Optimus Prime would be a better candidate to run Cybertron, but Optimus Prime is only for war, so I guess he won't be around until a war breaks out again between the Decepticon and Autobots, which could happen, you never know. This is cover B, by the way, also. I like cover Bs. I like the different artwork. Very rarely would I get a cover A unless it looks really sweet and I really want it. Next up, Book of the Month. Book of the Month. Book of the Month again, Book of the Week, and everything like that. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, #8. This is cover B. This is the Kevin Eastman cover, which I believe is sold out everywhere already.
It's nice.
Long story short, the Turtles are still fighting the Mousers. Stockman is, what do you call it? He's having a conversation with Krang, and Krang is like, listen, this is going to go one of two ways. Either you're going to help me, or I'm going to kill you. And, yeah.
I'm watching the choice.
So, Stockman's in trouble. And then there's a scene with Casey and April. April's talking about her past job, where she knew the Turtles when they were this big, and the Mouse Splinter. Casey's like, whoa, hold on a second. We go back to the Turtles who are fighting the Mousers. Old Hob takes Splinter and splits, so to speak. And the Turtles beat the Mousers, and now they're going to go chase after Old Hob. I like the way the next cover looks. Just saying. I'm probably not going to get cover A, though. I always get the Kevin Eastman covers. Let's see if I can find a good cover.
Wait a minute. I thought they were wearing the colored...
They do.
Oh, because the cover for next one showed red.
Yeah,
The
4 Turtles all together breaking apart the Mousers. Really sweet artwork. Really beautiful story. By the way, for those of you TMNT fans, Wednesday, if you order from Midtown, the Ultimate Collections Volume 2 comes out. If you don't, you want to order off Amazon, which is a lot cheaper. It comes out Saturday. So I already got mine. I already pre-ordered my Volume 2. Volume 3 should be following like in 2-3 months from now. So, first of all, this comic is going... This series is so good, guys. So good. I would highly recommend... This is issue 8 already. If you have not listened to me yet, you guys are missing out on some good old-fashioned comic book storytelling. I tell you, I've not been disappointed by one of these books yet. I've been loving this series, been loving it. to no end. And the micro series is going just as well, and it's actually interlacing with the actual series. So you got Krang, who wants to learn more about the things that turn the Turtles and Splinter into what they are today, and then you got the Foot, which is led by Splinter, by Shredder, who already know how to work the serum, but they want to, their whole purpose right now is not even really known. Unless it is mentioned in the micro series a bit, but in this series they don't know yet. So guys, the trade paperback for the first 5 are out. You only have to go 3 issues back then. If you don't trust me, buy the trade paperback of the first 5 first. You will not be disappointed in this series. I have not been disappointed yet. IDW has clawed its way into my comic reviews. This is almost, God thank you, 3 years I've been reviewing comics. And for those of you who've been watching my comic reviews from day one, you guys know I'm only the big 2. Very rarely did I reach out into something that was independent.
I remember that.
IDW has 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, 1 is a miniseries, so 4 ongoings actually, because there's the 2 Transformers. There's 4 ongoings from IDW, with more possibly to come.
Of course. Image
made its way into my reviews without Spawn, and even Vertigo I have a couple of books I'm getting from. So for IDW to have, first of all, from Image and Vertigo, there aren't that many yet. There were a lot of #1s from Image, but then the cuts are going to start happening. But IDW, this is issue 8. Transformers are in issue 3. Magic's in issue 3, and Infestation 2 is almost done. But I've gotten everything from Infestation 2. IDW is a really good independent company. Highly recommend it. Actually, I get other series from IDW. Ghostbusters, Road Rage, Lock and Key.
Oh yeah, Lock and Key.
So that brings the grand total up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I get 7 comics from IDW, which is more than I could say. It's almost about as much as I get from DC Comics now. So IDW has clawed its way up into the reviews, and I'll tell you guys the truth, IDW is a amazing company. If you guys like G.I. Joe, go check that out. If you guys like Transformers, their series are going pretty well. I wasn't going to get it. I'm glad I changed my mind. This is the best comic series out there. I know on the Fantastic Four books it says the world's greatest comic. This deserves that title. Sorry, FF, but I'm just not a huge fan of yours. This deserves that title. And that's all I have to say about Turtles.
Isn't Tarzan IDW?
No, Dynamite.
Oh, okay.
Dynamite made it also into my reviews. I have a few from Dynamite. Voltron, Tarzan. There's a few new #1s coming out come the summer. There's a lot of stuff from the independents. Very little from DC. A lot from Marvel.
Oh, I could tell.
Speaking of DC, its sister or side company, Vertigo, the new Deadwardians, #1. I wanted to like it, and Joe read it too.
Yeah.
I just, as you pointed out to me, because I was thinking about it after I read it tonight right before the review, so I was actually working on things. At first I said it's good, but then Joe brought up a good point. You're left with more questions than answers. There's a lot of dead ends that happen. Loose ends that never get tied up. From what happens in the beginning, you completely forget it by the end. And I'm sure, this I did tell you, I'm sure as the series goes on, more will be answered. And I'm pretty sure more will be answered.
So you're saying that's more confusion.
But to be honest, I don't see this making, because of all the #1s, I don't see this making a issue 2. I don't think so. It takes place in oh God, Scotland. Jeez. In Scotland, yeah.
Yeah.
And nobody can die. Zone B is covered with zombies, but we don't know how the zombies got there. Naked corpse at the end of the series.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like, and the artwork is all right. It's nothing.
It's iffy.
Yeah,
it leaves something to be desired. Let's put it that way. Let's put it this way. Let me show you the guy's mother. There you go. This page. It leaves something to be desired.
I actually laughed.
If I have the extra money, which I'm pretty sure I might, because it's only a $2.99 book and it's 8 issues, I might give issue 2 a chance. But if issue 2 does not give me any kind of more tied up loose ends, so to speak, if it doesn't like fix or answer a few of the questions that I'm left with this, I'm most likely not going to get issue 3. Dan Abnett, I've read some of his work before. I can't remember off the bat what work it was. But I'm going to give this another chance, probably. Depends on how many comics come out the week it comes out. Yeah. So I'm going to see. Guys, check it out if you want. The Deadwardians, the new Deadwardians, came out, and it's okay. Not as good as the Image #1s that have been coming out lately. I bought this strictly because it was the last one and because my girlfriend liked Ghost Rider, and we all were hoping for the best. Ghost Rider #9. Long story short, Alejandro becomes something different. Johnny Blaze becomes Ghost Rider. The end. Thank you, God. It was only 9 issues. It only took 9 issues, but thank you, Lord. In the end, Johnny takes the plunge into hell's lava, and he comes out the Ghost Rider once again.
That is epic.
It's his curse to bear, and I'm glad that he's bearing it. And goodbye, Alejandra. I'm sure at some point she'll come back and she'll be a villain if they ever start up a
Well, it could be a versus battle.
I'll tell you guys the truth. If they ever start up a Ghost Rider series again, I know Cindy's probably going to be interested in checking that out because it'll be her Ghost Rider then.
Yeah, but it's awesome. Johnny Blaze returns.
It was good. Johnny Blaze is back at the end.
God.
I'll be saving this for Cindy. I won't be keeping it. I'm not a real huge Ghost Rider Alejandro fan. Okay, remember I was telling you guys about the bad artwork? Well, here we go. First of 2. Secret Avengers #24. Secret Avengers still trapped, still fighting their way to save that little boy. Hawkeye and Beast get caught, and Beast is in trouble. And let me see, good way to explain the artwork. They want to capture the boy because he has these kind of like, I don't know why, he has like powers or something. It's just like I can't even care. Venom does finally drop in towards the middle of the book. Oh no, he doesn't. They show Venom in 1 page, and there's trouble, and he sees the Secret Avengers need help. He sees the symbiote, and we all know by next issue Venom will be there. I do hope the artwork does change, though. I'm trying to find a good way. I don't want to show the last page because a Secret Avenger that was gone is now back, but
kind of a little weird.
Yeah, the artwork is very weird. It's just like trying to get that page.
I think the story is not.
Yeah, that one.
The story's I'm being honest, I am holding on to Secret Avengers until after Avengers vs. X-Men. The next story will make or break the Secret Avengers for me. Another series that the artwork kind of turned me off, but the story would have been a lot better if the artwork was better. Uncanny X-Force 23. Story was pretty darn good. The only problem is, man, oh man, when you guys see the artwork in this book, you're going to cringe.
Huh?
There's your artwork. It looks like somebody did watercolors on the entire book.
Wow.
Ew.
Yeah.
That's it. Watercolors. The entire book is basically watercolors. That's what it looks like to me.
This is horrible.
Yeah, it's not exactly the nicest kind of artwork. I'm a fan of X-Force. I love Phantom X. I love Wolverine. And by the way, for those of you who are interested in, speaking of Phantom X, who was created by Grant Morrison. Now, you guys know I hate Grant Morrison, but I will say one thing. His run on the new X-Men was awesome. In August, there is an omnibus coming out of the new X-Men. It's about $78 on Amazon. I will be getting the omnibus of the new X-Men. It's the full run from Uncanny X-Men, which turned into New X-Men 115 all the way through to 157. The full, it's going to be about this thick.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely going to get my hands on one of those. So let me put it this way: the problem was solved by the end. Betty came out the bad guy. Next issue comes the Age of Apocalypse Iceman. Now, hopefully, the artwork will change hands. Yeah, from the Age of Apocalypse, though, the evil one.
Oh, that one. Oh, I thought you meant the other one.
Yeah, I'm just glad Phantom X got his face back. That's all I'm going to say. I hope the artwork changes. I really am not a fan of this artwork. And to be honest, it's ruining the story for me. In a way. So, to be honest, if the artwork doesn't change by the next story, I'll probably end up letting the series go. Most likely. Next up, New X-Men, New Avengers, New X-Men, New Avengers, number 23. We all know how it ended with Norman Osborn already, so it's no surprise to any of us. This basically explains Scar's betrayal of the getting off of X-Men, the Dark Avengers. He betrays the Dark Avengers. He was with Cap all along. He betrays the new Dark Avengers. He goes to save Cap. The new Avengers show up and beat the crap out of the new Dark Avengers. Cap shows up. Scar was an undercover agent. New Avengers win. Luke Cage is looking for his wife who's disappeared. The end. Next issue is the Avengers vs. X-Men, and Spidey still in his FF costume, but at this point I don't care anymore because this is going to be the only comic I actually get to see Spidey in his FF costume.
It's a shame.
Really good. A little late. They should have released this the same time they released the Avengers book, because now we already knew that Norman Osborn lost and the new Dark Avengers lost. We just don't know how Thunderbolts in about 3 months is going to become Dark Avengers.
That's going to be a mystery.
I'm going to enjoy reading that, but yeah. So, there you go. That is the new Avengers. Really good. Nice artwork. Next up, Astonishing X-Men, number 48. Now with Wolverine side, but man, oh man, am I freaking confused as hell. Beginning of the book, Northstar's running away from Wolverine and Gambit, who are possessed by Lord knows what, but they're not themselves, and Iceman grabs them and tells Northstar to run. Then we go into the present. And in the present, Northstar's, I guess, moving into his new apartment with his boyfriend. There is a boyfriend kissing scene, and everybody's been talking about it. That's the only reason why I'm showing it. Guy on guy kissing. Whoop-de-doo. Nothing really to talk about here. Then it jumps into Gambit and his girl, who is a friend, I guess, enjoying their Friday night together. Wolverine called Northstar before, and then him and Northstar showed up at Gambit's door. We don't know why, this situation. Then Warbird, here's a good example of how I'm going to show the artwork, shows up and says it has begun. They get attacked by we don't know who or why. Iceman shows up to save the day for a bit, and the bad guys are revealed to be these people. And I don't know who they are, so if anybody can tell me who they are, you get a prize of
like one huge
knowing
mess,
something
honestly.
more than I do, because I don't know them. I don't know any of them.
Never saw them.
Never saw them before in my life. To be continued. So I'm as confused as hell, and on the cover of the next issue has the X-Men versus these
So you'll
people.
find out then.
I guess I'll find out then. There were a lot of loose ends. I was like, wait, what happened? What? I had to read this book twice. But I'm glad that Astonishing X-Men finally jumped onto the right side, which is Wolverine's side. So I'm going to be buying Astonishing X-Men for a while, unless the story completely throws me for a loop and I'm like, okay, I can't do this anymore, and then I'll drop it. But I'm glad that it's Wolverine's side that's back with Astonishing X-Men. Highly recommend checking that out. The last issue of Daken Dark Wolverine. Daken Dark Wolverine, number 23. Daken fights against every single Marvel superhero there is, and his father shows up in the end, and it turns out he warns his dad that there's a bomb he left at the school. So basically, he causes all hell, and in the end, it's like the greatest thing he could ever do is his final triumph of is a parting gesture to the lesser minds to leave him scrambling for meaning for years afterwards. So basically, he did all this for no reason whatsoever. I just want to make sure. No, I want to make sure he doesn't say anything else. And of course, the body disappears. So basically, after this page, you no longer see Daken. He's gone. I'll show this page. He disappears. So there's no body to bury.
So wait, so we don't know if he's dead?
Right.
Oh.
There you go.
It's a cliffhanger.
And in the end, basically, it's the cover. Wolverine in his room where Daken said he left the bomb, and it turned out it was just a picture, a stuffed animal of Wolverine. The end.
Wow, that's a good...
He left him with nothing. That was the whole point. He wanted to leave his father with nothing. Now, here's the stupid thing. In Deadpool right now, Daken's still alive and he's fighting his dad. So this book must take place after the Deadpool series, or the Deadpool Dead storyline. So this, yeah. I'm very sad to see this series out of the two series go. I liked X-23, but I liked Daken Dark Wolverine a bit more. The story before this one was a little bit but the Manipur story was really, really good. Maybe one day soon they'll bring back Daken, because you know he's not dead. If they don't bury a body, he isn't dead.
They left the opening though.
They left the opening there.
And a great cliffhanger.
And it was a good series. I would highly recommend checking the entire series out in trade paperback if you haven't been collecting all 23 issues like I have. Next, Avenging Spider-Man with its free digital copy offer number 5, working with Captain America. Turns out that Spidey found out that when Cap was young, just like Spidey, he was a nerd. He was an artist. He loved to draw. So Spidey all of a sudden finds a connection with Cap. So he's like connected to Cap throughout this entire book by the hip. They go out on a mission. He doesn't leave Cap alone about his past. He thinks that him and Cap have so much in common. That, you know,
well, it's amazing
oh,
to see
we were
him
both
teaming up with
nerds and whatever. And he just doesn't stop talking throughout the whole middle of the book. and then he does something for Cap for his artwork. He gets it framed and blown up. And Cap's like, dude, would you ever really want to go back to those days? I wouldn't. I don't want to be a nerd. I'm happy I'm a soldier and everything. Do you still have your first chemistry set? At first, Spidey says no, and then in the very end, he's like, I do, though. You know, I do pull my first chemistry set out from time to time. Don't know why I lied about it. So it leaves Cap feeling like a jerk. And it's a warm ending. It's a very warm ending with Cap and Spidey talking about Cap going back to some of his old artwork and stuff.
That's really
so
nice.
It was a warm... It was a warm ending. I really, really liked it. It was really good. The next issue, though, connects to the Omega. What's it called? The Omega something. The Omega. I don't know. But this was also dedicated to the memory of Joe Simon. So the Omega effect is next. It's going to be Avenging Spider-Man, Daredevil, and Punisher. Michael's got one of the books,
oh, yeah.
so I'm going to be reading 2 of them, and then I guess it's going to conclude with Michael's. I'm not even sure. But highly recommend this series, and by the looks of it, we have 2 minutes left. Can I get through this one? Probably, yeah. The Mighty Thor, issue 12. In this issue, Thor's back. He makes it out from the world of the dead, goes back to Asgard, defends it against the trolls. The All-Mother fights. Thor fights the guy that was impersonating Thor for so long. The All-Mother fights the witch. And in the end, Thor and Asgard triumph. Happy, happy, joy, joy. There's a lot of fighting in throughout this entire book. The lightning, the way Thor beats Tannerus is awesome. Huge lightning effect. Goodbye, Tannerus.
Oh, nice. Good
Good riddance. See you never. And it all ends. Next issue is going to be a 12.1 issue, which I have from for next episode. I got the 12. No, in 2 weeks I have 12.1. So I'm looking forward to 12.1. Thor is back. He is not dead. Officially, every single character that was killed in Fear Itself is not dead anymore. Bucky's back in Winter Soldier. Thor's back in his books. And who else died in that series? Who else died? 3 people died in Fear Itself. Thor, Bucky. Oh no, and yeah, Human Torch died in the Fantastic Four story.
Oh, that's right.
So all 3 characters are back to life. Hooray, hurrah. Who didn't see that coming? I did. Thor's alive, and I can't wait to see what happens next in the Thor books. Thor's back in the Avengers. He's going to be around for Avengers vs. X-Men. It's going to be awesome. Mike can go behind the camera. I would highly recommend checking out the Mighty Thor. I'm glad I started reading this, along with the book that you guys are going to be seeing first in the next part to this comic book review. So we'll see you guys in part 2 of this week's Dark Avenger comic book review. Stay tuned. See you in the next part.